So, address me. I was planning to clear out old videos and give the channel an entire refresh for the new year so I'd feel refreshed when I finally came back online. That didn't happen, so now I just look like I had a mental break and deleted everything again. But if you go to the channel playlist, everything is still right there, nothing's actually missing. I got busy with stuff, including, technically, I did end up at a hospital. The one thing I'm going to ask for is to not give me unsolicited health advice. Don't try to diagnose me as a complete stranger when you don't have every detail. Let me throw some context out. Last summer, I made a video saying I'd found work and would be focusing on moving out of state. At the time that was true, but eventually the job was no longer an option and I ended up losing the apartment. Before anything else, I want to start with an apology for not being entirely upfront. There's a lot more also happening with my living situation, but that's not really something I'm gonna get into right now. I mostly wanted to talk about one of the biggest things that kept me from coming back online. I'm not talking about eating disorders, but I've been having a lot of trouble with my weight. I've always been slim, but in recent years, I've been medically underweight with a BMI around 16, which is so incredibly unhealthy and 9 times out of 10 is a sign something is wrong. For reference, anything below 18.5 is considered underweight, and I'm usually at 16. But because I was thin and young, it was never really taken seriously when I brought it up, so it wasn't until halfway through 2025 that I was actually able to have it professionally looked at. Not exactly a tangent, but it probably feels like one. I've also always had an incredibly irregular menstrual cycle. Some months I don't have one, some months there's 2. I don't ever actually have any symptoms. It was never a red flag for me because it was all I'd ever known, but doctors told me that if I started birth control, it would both regulate my cycle and help me gain weight. That did not happen. Avoiding extreme detail, within 48 hours I experienced the worst menstrual symptoms of my life. I have no clue how women do that monthly, I get it now. And I ended up losing around 5 pounds in just that short time. I'd been close to 99 pounds and ended up stuck at 94 for the entire month before I was able to go back to the doctor. Even still, it took another 2 or 3 months to gain most of it back. And it wasn't even until just recently that I passed 99 again. Like, I was stuck around 97, 98 for about a year because of that. And then the same sort of thing happens again. I mentioned that BC's hurting way more than it's helping. I ask if I can go back in, and I'm told to wait until the follow-up. Skill issue. So when I was finally able to go back, I was told I was reacting to estrogen. They told me I was allergic to estrogen. Only a bit later did I find out they never actually tested for that. They just said that. They also did some blood work and supposedly checked my thyroid. They said both were fine. I was close to anemia and basically had to act as though I already had it. What's the point of going out of your way to tell me I don't have a condition just to tell me I have to start behaving as though I do? Like, when I found out they never actually checked my hormone levels before deciding I was allergic to estrogen, I started seeing a gyno instead. We brought her up to speed and asked to get my hormone levels checked, which is where we found out that my thyroid test results were just not there. Like, my record had nothing on it. So we had to get that redone, and oh my god. Her initial guess after hearing everything and feeling my thyroid was hyperthyroidism. All the signs lined up, my thyroid was noticeably enlarged, so we were sent to a hospital next door to once again have everything checked. Mind you, I'd seen so many doctors at this point that when the receptionist at the hospital asked, both my mom and I had to look at photos like we were at a police lineup to figure out who I'd seen most recently because I don't actually have a regular doctor through all this. It's literally doctor of the week. It's a different one every time I go in because ain't nobody know what's wrong with me. Eventually, we get the results back. Thyroid levels? Low. Hormone levels? Normal. Albeit they had no evidence, but they were onto something with the estrogen thing. I literally just reacted because I just kinda did that. And somehow I'm stuck between hyper and hypothyroidism. What? Like, how badly did I sin in a past life? I wish I had any kind of actual conclusion, but that's about all that happened in the past year. We have 0 answers. Right now I'm waiting to see yet another doctor for a 15th opinion. On top of that, we also spent New Year's Day waiting in the emergency bed for like 8 hours. A few people may remember I'd wanted to do a live stream the first week of 2026 and it never ended up actually happening. That's where I was instead. My 16-year-old spoiled brat Mary gave us the biggest health scare I've ever seen just to find out she has IBS. Little Miss $2,000 tummy ache over here. She changes her diet and gains all her weight back in less than a week, and I'll eat 14 servings in one go of the Stouffer's cheddar cheese whales and lose 3 pounds. I can literally Google how to lose weight, do the opposite, and at most I'll break even, dude. Like, I'm sure if I wanted to sit down and make a longer video, I could go into everything, but I feel like that's as dramatic as I need to be for one video. Again, don't try to give me medical advice. It's not what I'm looking for, and I genuinely think if one more person tries to tell me what they think is wrong with me without anything to actually go by, I'm literally going to get canceled. I'm not above turning comments off. I'd like to say I want to try to release Technilogica in March, but there's a lot of things out of my control that it depends on, so of course I don't feel like I can promise that anymore. See, the past however many minutes has been. Happy New Year.